Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to NBA Golden. The NBA has long embraced the diversity of its players and found it a source of pride so that many people from diverse backgrounds have shifted to the game of basketball. Although this has traditionally been exemplified by hundreds of different nations from which players come, there's another dimension of players' background that's worth exploring: their financial status. We often hear stories of athletes coming from poor backgrounds and becoming rich in the game, but here we have 10 NBA players who were rich even before the NBA. Number 1. Stephen Curry. Curry is the son of Del Curry, who is also a star of the NBA. Steph is now one of the league's best players. If you followed Stephen Curry's career so far, you know it's no secret that the guy gets a lot of hate. Many people don't understand why this is, as Curry acts a decent, well-rounded person during interviews, despite growing up as the son of a former NBA player. Number 2. Grant Hill. Grant Hill's dad played in the NFL. He played soccer for Yale and then went to the Rangers, where he was an all-pro, and when he was traded to the Redskins, that's where Grant Hill spent much of his early life. His mother, Janet, is a successful lawyer. As many of you know, Grant Hill ended up having an outstanding NBA career, and he was a 7-time NBA All-Star. Number 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., the 6'6" shooting guard, whose father, Tim Sr., was a former All-Star point guard for Golden State and Miami, was intended by the New York Knicks in 2013. Hardaway scored a career-high 29 points in a game against the Cleveland Cavaliers and was nominated for the NBA Rookie of the Month Eastern Conference in January. Number 4. Lonzo Ball. Ball hasn't been in the NBA for so long, and sometimes it can take years for some players to become something different. I can't help but think that part of the reason there's so much pressure on Lonzo to be perfect has to do with his father, LeVar Ball, who runs the Big Baller Company. And when anything like Lonzo gets benched for a quarter is circulated to the public, it's a bit more of a big deal than it should be, since you expect him to do so great because of LeVar's stage fathering. Number 5. Kobe Bryant. Bryant's dad played pro basketball in Italy when Kobe was a child. Bryant's father, Joe, also played briefly at the NBA in the 1970s. Kobe played exclusively for the Los Angeles Lakers throughout his career and led them to 5 NBA championships. Sure, he knew how to play dirty when the time was right, and sure, like any iconic NBA player, he's got his critics and people who don't like him. But none of this taints the fact that Bryant's career is legendary. Number 6. Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers began his NBA career as the 10th overall pick of the 2012 NBA draft and decided to wear the same jersey number as his father, Doc Rivers, who's the current head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers. Austin was chosen by the New Orleans Pelicans and was quoted as saying, "I want to be like my father, only better." Upon playing for a few seasons, Austin Rivers made history by becoming the first player to play for his father. Number 7. Jim LAIMBEER. Jim LAIMBEER retired in the early 1990s. His 5-year contract was worth $500,000 a year. Since LAIMBEER was playing during an era in which to get into a brawl now and then was bound to happen on the court, I'd say that his methods weren't as poor as some would make them out to be. At least for that period, they weren't. It was shocking, though, that a tough guy like LAIMBEER had grown up in a wealthy suburb of Chicago. Number 8. JOAKIM Noah. JOAKIM's dad, Yannick Noah, was the winner of the French Open. He won 23 singles titles and 16 doubles titles in his career in 1983. And he was an incredibly successful pro tennis player. After that, he became a singer and sold millions of albums. He also played in an 80,000-seat arena in 2010 and sold it out. Noah won the Defensive Player of the Year a few years ago, but now you know he's getting paid $17 million. And he's trash, but he's had moments of the square where he was decent. Number 9. David Lee. Lee is probably the wealthiest of all these guys. His grandfather, Ed Esmond Lee, was a co-founder of the company Lee Rowan. It was then sold for $70 million after several productive years in 1992. Before that, the business ended up making his grandpa potentially close to $100 million, which means that David Lee was set for his life. But his passion for basketball ended up getting him into the NBA, where he's made millions of dollars and had a successful career. Number 10. Steve Kerr. While some basketball players think of Steve Kerr as the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, there was a time when he was a player. In fact, before he retired and became a coach, he was a 5-time NBA champion. While Steve was only 18 years old, his father, Malcolm Kerr, was assassinated in the 1980s by the Islamic Jihad during his tenure as president of the American University in Beirut. But before that, he'd spent his early life traveling the world very comfortably. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch 2 videos on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.